JL Rock, percent off collector. We're here with another Transformers unboxing and review. And here we're looking at the Velocitron Speedia 500 collection. And this is basically a recolor of the red and blue Optimus Prime version. It's interesting because I just did a recoloring of Grapple. So it's kind of cool that I just picked this out of the the pile of Transformers that I have in my backlog waiting to do a review. This I actually picked up on Amazon a while back. It was on sale, I think, for like 19 bucks or something. So as a percent off collector, I made sure that I got that discount so I could make that deal. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I am wrong, guys. Look, it was a Ross pickup, $16.99. So even better than I thought. So I'm glad I left that here because I thought this was one of the Amazon ones, but nope, Ross. So $16.99, great freaking deal. And like I said, normally I probably wouldn't have got it just because I already got the main one, and we'll be doing like a little comparison. But there he is, robot, and then there, so you can see. And as I said, we'll do more comparisons in a moment. But as you can see here, what I like about this is there's a lot to it, but there's not too many steps. 30 steps is not a lot considering that the tanker also becomes like a little base. You see that there? And his weapons and all that is cool. I love the black and the different colors, so that'll be a good comparison. But without further ado, let's get this bad boy open so we can take a look at it. I've been excited to get this because it's funny. I have a what's in the box coming up eventually where I got a whole bunch of Transformers loose from the estate sale. And there was a bunch of Optimus Primes. So I actually have a whole lot of Optimus Primes now of various types. Not to mention that I still have at least 2 or 3 Optimus Primes that I still need to go through in my backlog. I think like one is the Studio series. Oops. And oh, look at that. This thing almost fell apart on me. A Studio series and another, I think it's one of the Timu knockoff ones, but the Nemesis Prime knockoff, where I already had the regular Optimus Prime knockoff. Let me scroll that down so you can see. And then the weapons, these you could just slide out. Easy peasy. Alright, so we get that out of here. Get that out of here. Alright, so let's start with the accessories. Let me just go ahead and cut this plastic off so I'm all ready to go when we move on to the tanker. But so first up, let's look at the swords here. Let's zoom in a little close so you can really see it. So again, this is just recoloring. Let me see if I can quickly look. I don't think I have it where I can just grab it, unfortunately, because yeah, I don't have it where I can just grab it, which I apologize. I should have had that ready. But the other ones are just like more of your standard red, where this is like almost has like a pinkish color to it, almost like maybe pink and purple is what I'm getting more than a red. But I think it looks pretty nice. It looks sweet to me as far as the sword. And then same thing with the axe. I mean, it's almost like a lollipop, right? And it's got cool design on it. And then we have the tanker truck. So very, very cool. Again, I love the way the paint here makes it look a lot more metal. And as I said, we're gonna do a comparison. So let's zoom out just slightly so that you can see the different ones here. So this is the original. So you see here, it has more of that red accent and it's gray here. It's like not really that metal color. Maybe the metal color kind of is down here on the tires, but that's about it. But here, as you can see, this is even, maybe it's a little bit brighter, or maybe it's just the light. But I just love how it looks like more chromish leather, chromish metal type look to it on this end. And it doesn't bother me not having the red accents here. I just think it matches all together. Maybe, I don't know if this would have been cooler if it was like a dark black, but I think besides that, I think everything else is the same. I think the design and all that is pretty much the same. I know that on the grapple, there's a few little design choices that were different. The front, pretty simple, nothing crazy here in the front. Underneath, and then on top, you have that. So basically, like I said, the comparisons between the two is just the red accents and then gray instead of black. But everything else, at least on that, is pretty much the same. So what's cool about this is you can turn it into like a weapons platform. And I think this is the one that I can actually transform without it being too difficult, just because it's simple. Whereas otherwise, I would fail horribly. So let's zoom out a little bit more. And so this is basically pretty much what it looks like when it's in its battle mode. I mean, you can see, oops, you can see there, like when you open it, that's pretty much it. Wait. And you can put like, well, you have this gun here, and you can put like this up there, but I mean that doesn't really fit the aesthetic. But you can bend it down like that, and I think, I don't know if it turns. I know this rotates, but I forgot exactly how this is supposed to be. I don't know if it's like that, like a grapple, but I mean, pretty much. I'm just looking quickly at how this looks. Yeah, actually, that's how it is. I think on the cover, they had it kind of reversed, so they had it like this. I guess you could see it, but that's basically how it's supposed to look when it's in its, I guess, battle fortress mode. And I think that's cool because the idea is also to be like, you could stand with it. I mean, obviously he's taller than it, but you know, it's cool. I mean, it takes up a lot of space in this mode, so that is one thing to take into consideration. So for me, I just like tanker mode better, but we can just quickly look. I mean, obviously it's the same parts here, so. But again, design, you can swivel it around. How it looks inside is really nice. It's cool. But as I said, I prefer it in its tanker mode, so that's what I'm going to keep it in. But let's move over to the actual mode. It looks like this came a little loose. Alright, so as I said, basically this fits on in the back here. And it looks like that. So I mean, what's cool is if you have the other version of the tanker, everything's the same, so it fits. It's the same thing with like the weapons. It fits in the same pegs and all that. It actually doesn't look bad like this. I think that the chrome tanker version looks cooler, but it's not like this is bad or anything. Like it looks bad being red, so you can actually play around with it. But let me just, so you can see the difference. This is the original that it comes with. Yeah, for me that looks better. That just looks cooler to have that with it. But the other one doesn't look bad either. But so the figure itself, actually, I think I had it wrong. I think it's supposed to, this happened in the box. That's how it's supposed to be, down like that, so it doesn't look so much. But again, looking at this, I really like that dark color scheme. I love the red for the glass You know, it's the same type of red as this, whereas you can see with the original, it's that bluish one. Um, let's see, rolling. Not really great at rolling, but that doesn't matter. Again, I like the accents of this looking chrome. Let's get even extra close so you can see. So the design here, like even here on the little tanker on the side, all the way it's built up, it looks sweet. I really just like that red. You can see that it also has that red plastic. It's kind of hard to see, but if when I tilt it, you can see the red in there. But the design is really nice. The blue accents, I don't know. I guess maybe it's to try and connect it. I probably wouldn't have, if just me, my aesthetic, I wouldn't have done blue. I think it would look cool just keeping it all dark and red. Maybe had this be red as well. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you like the little blue accents, or do you think it would have been better with a different color? It's not like deal breaker or anything with me. This is just a stylistic choice. So underneath you could kind of see like the robot legs, but it still doesn't look bad. You see here I think these are supposed to be like cannons, they said. But like, I really like the little symbols too. Look at that. Those little symbols are nice. I'm really starting to learn about checking out the actual design and just how they put the little cuts and stuff in here to make it look sweet. But it really does look like a truck. And then the back, of course, where the feet are, you know, a lot more standard here. And then the bed where you put the actual tanker is nice. And then you can see these hexagon holes here. You'll see these on pretty much all the Transformers, or at least the legacy ones. You can swap the weapons for pretty much any of those Transformers. They will fit in these little holes there. So there we have it in its vehicle mode. Now let's take a look at it in its robot mode. All right, and here he is in his robot mode, and I'm telling you, Laser Optimus Prime looks freaking sweet. I mean, he looks so badass. I'm loving the color, and you know what? I'm almost kind of like rethinking the blue, because the blue really sticks out once you have him in this mode. It's just really awesome. So let's quickly go through articulation. You have the feet where you can move it around, even though this is part of the transformation. But you can move these around to get like a little posing, though I don't really think you need to. It's necessary, anything like that. You can rotate it upper at the top at the hip there, but that's really it. You can bend the knees pretty far back. That's nice. And of course, you can do the Jean-Claude Van Damme. Shout out to Captain Kyle. But that's about it. You can rotate this. This is part of the transformation too. So you can do a full turnaround at the hip. You can bend at the elbows. You can rotate the hands and the fist itself. And then the shoulders can come up, but of course you have the laser shoulder pads that kind of get in the way. And then you can just rotate around the arms and shoulders like that. And then the head, you can kind of look up a little bit, look down a little bit, and then full turn around. So just as far as that articulation, that's what you got. Let's zoom in and look at some of the details here. So I love how the lasers look. I have to say, in robot mode, it just, I don't know, that blue accent kind of pops a little bit more. The design of the laser attacks and everything looks sweet. I think that, and you see a little matrix inside. That's a little cool touch that I like. I think the blue around the windows help accents that, you know, reddish violet pink color or whatever. And again, like the chrome accents like here on the grill looks really nice. The designs here, you know, again, the way the tires look. When you look at the back, not so bad as far as kibble. I mean, obviously the trailer has to go somewhere, but the fact that it sits on his back like that, it almost looks like it's just like, you know, rocket pack or something like that. It doesn't, the side profile doesn't look terrible or anything like that. Once you get to the back of the legs, just very normal here, nothing crazy. And it just stands really well and looks really cool. So let's put on his weapons. You have, of course, his sword. And those you can just, I'm pretty sure I was able to fit in his hand. It seems difficult now. But, let me see. I know it both. Okay, so with the axe, I was able to get the axe in. I don't know what's with the sword, it seems like. Yeah, it's just stiff. That's all. Nothing else besides that. So you can see there, let me just back up a little bit. That looks really sweet. So I mean, what's interesting is it looks like it's a brighter red than what's on the, you know, glass, well, plastic for his windshield and everything. But I still think that it works with how he looks. You know, it's supposed to be like kind of energy weapon, so it's supposed to be a little bit different than any default color. But I do think that, like I said, overall it looks sweet. And just let me get more of a profile. It just, from just a standing standpoint, you know, it looks nice. I mean, yeah, you can't do crazy poses, but I mean, you can bring the arms together, you can put it out. You just have to work around the lasers and stuff like that. But it looks pretty awesome. So let's do some of the comparisons. And for that, I'll take off. I also kind of like that you can bend this down. It's kind of funny to me, like what you can do with that weapon. But yeah, it's just that this thing is new, so it's a little tight to squeeze in, but that's fine. I'd rather have it like that than loose. So here they are side by side. And put his arms down so you can see. And this flap down. That's basically how it's supposed to be. All right, so as you can see, that's them side by side. So I mean, obviously, if you're just used to that standard Optimus Prime, I mean, that's the color that you like. I have no problem with this. It looks cool. I even like the little yellow here that kind of like, you know, it kind of like pops. It like sticks out. The blue grill and stuff like that. I do notice that the matrix is more pronounced in here, where on this one it's like you can see it, but it seems a little bit more blurry. That this looks like much clearer, but this almost has like a neon look to it, and it just looks badass. So I mean, obviously, if this was full price, I probably would have just got one. I probably would have went with the black just because those alternate colors are just so sweet to me. But for that price point, I'm happy to get both. Design wise, after that, I mean, it's really just color switches. It's not like they did anything that is like, oh my god, it's so different. I mean, like, for instance, they have the little blue accents here, where here there isn't anything at all. I guess they could have done yellow there or something like that, but they didn't. But as you can see, the sides pretty much the same. You see here though, that is a style choice, where this is like that flame that you saw in the newer Optimus Prime, the one from the movies and stuff like that, where this is kind of like just a line-based design. So I guess that's one big change. Oh man, this thing really wants to fall today. I don't know what's going on with it. It never fallen before. I guess I gotta rebuild my thing. But so basically, the blue accents also here are a nice little touch, where here it's just gray all the way. Both of the like smokestacks, those are chrome, so that's cool. Basically after that, everything is the same. I guess also having blue hands instead of also just the hands being black. I don't know if maybe the hands could have been red, this red or blue. It's hard to say. But I just wanted to show you basically both of these, and can't see the tankers. So both of those. So that's basically both of them side by side, so you can see how they look overall. So I mean, for me, especially since now I have almost like a little Optimus Prime collection, I think this makes my like 10th Optimus Prime that's open. And like I said, I have at least 2 or 3 more that are still closed. That's really sweet. But let's put this on a turntable and do my final thoughts. And I don't have to movie magic that. That's another good thing about the way this is. It stands really well. So yeah. So as I said, I really like this recolor. you know, some people have problems with recolors in general, just because it's like they look at it as a money grab. I get that. I'm not sitting here defending Hasbro or any company. But that's also why I waited till I could get this at Ross. I wouldn't have paid full price for it. I didn't pay full price for the original Laser Optimus Prime either. I think that's the one I got from Amazon for like 20 something. The fact that I got this from Ross for under 20 bucks is just a great deal. And like I said, that's one of the themes you'll see here with the Percent Off Collector channel, is that I'm not a big baller. You're not going to see me like, oh, look at me. I bought the Grimlock or the Optimus Prime that costs thousands of dollars. I wish I could do that, but I can't. I'm a working stiff. Got a regular day job and all that. So I go for bargains, and I've had a lot of fun finding these bargains. This is an excellent bargain. It's a great addition to my Optimus Prime, especially my Nemesis collection. I also have like the Nemesis Core Optimus that I still have to open as well. So I mean, I'm gonna have a nice collection of the classic red and blue, and then the black Optimus Prime. So really awesome. I'm happy with the figure. It's awesome, and I say if you can still find it pretty cheap, go pick it up. Now, if you like this channel, you like the way I do reviews and stuff, please consider giving me a like and a sub and all that. I do videos 3 days a week, action figures, what's in the box, and Transformers. And leave comments, because I like talking to fans out there, and I reply to all comments as long as people are cool and nice and sweet. So thanks for hanging out, geeking with me as I open up this awesome looking Laser Optimus Prime. And until next time, remember my motto: no discount, no deal. Catch you next time.